poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at yet another film review, and today we're taking a look at a film review that finishes a trilogy that I've done on the channel, and it is the DC's Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths trilogy. Part 1, 2 are already up on the channel, and today we're taking a look at part 3 just to finish it off, and just to finish basically the shit bombing that I've been doing on DC recently. I did say that I was going to try and promote DC a little bit more. We are playing through a couple of DC games on the channel with Gotham Knights, and then we're also going to be going on to the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. But yeah, I have to shit on this film as well because I shit on the other two, and it only makes sense to also shit on this one because after watching it, I agree that it is shit. So without any further delay, let's get into what this Google has to say. So it is a 1 hour and 38-minute movie that came out in 2024. It has a 6 out of 10 on IMDb, a 4.6 out of 5 on Amazon, and a 4 out of 10 on IGN. I don't know how it even has that fucking high. So, the Anti-Monitor attacks the remaining Earths and their inhabitants. Heroes and villains across space and time join the Justice League for a final stand against the evil. So, how this movie actually starts is nowhere fucking near where the last one ended off. They're randomly in a new sort of pocket realm, a space outside of time and dimensions. It is like the place. It's called like Blood Splatter or Blood something. I don't know. The name is something is blood in it. It isn't that a creative name. But all the Earths are slowly dying, slowly corrupting, and we find out why this is happening, and it's because like the guy who time travels sent the Flash back in time to stop Darkseid, who is a fixed point in time. So they all have to just accept that these dimensions are getting destroyed. Supergirl sacrifices herself to destroy one of these like shadow creatures, and then infinite more like arrive. So her sacrifice meant fucking nothing. And then everyone just makes a new dimension. They make like a whole new world. Some people go in, some people don't, and that's basically where the movie ends, and it doesn't really get resolved all too well. It just kind of abruptly ends with some of the heroes and villains going into this one dimension and all of the variations of themselves getting merged into one. It's a very shit ending to a very shit story, but I am going to be honest, this third one was the best out of the bunch. This is the one which was a decent standalone movie, which could have done well on its own. I thought it was a pretty decent story. Other than how it starts, it works completely fine on its own and is a pretty decent end to the trilogy that started off so awfully. Again, I'm not a huge fan of this trilogy. I don't really like anything of what it does. The only good parts of this trilogy is the character interactions and my further knowledge on the DC lore, because it teaches you and introduces some characters which don't really get that much screen time or get that much attention in the wider DC sort of extended universe and like movies, TV shows, comic books. They don't really get that much of a screen or runtime, so it is very nice to see them here and get to see all these different characters take center stage and become the main characters for a little bit, even if you don't have a clue for who they are, or if you even don't care for who they are, because this movie does such a shit job at making you care for these characters. You just cannot care for them. There is when Supergirl sacrifices herself, it's made out to be this big moment, and it tries to get you to cry using all of the like normal techniques which they use with the sad music, the drawn out death scene, these sort of flashbacks of their life, the sort of over analyzing, the over sort of interest in the character for the whole movie, just for them to go out in a blaze of glory and then everyone crying at the end around them. All those sort of factors, all of the subtle hints to sort of get you to fall in love with this character. None of that shit works because it's interrupted so much by all the other pointless, useless, no fucking characters which sort of come in between each and every single one of these. Like, they just randomly come in between, like, random mini plot points and like mini conversations and character interactions between random characters, which doesn't even need to be in the movie because it just makes no sense that they're here. There is like I said, the character interactions are the best part of the movie, but there is no need for them to be this many. like every character does not need to interact with everybody, like that everybody does not need to be like a huge part of the story. It I know it's like Infinite Earths and they're trying to make it as big as possible, but in doing that, they're overstretching themselves and putting too many characters into this movie, so you can't really focus on any single one of them or get that invested in any single one of them either. It really isn't that good. And the art style is so shit. And they do like a whole mini plot point about dinosaurs, which is pointless and gets never brought up again. There's just random dinosaur attacking Metropolis for no apparent fucking reason, and it doesn't get brought up ever again. It just happens. It's just this movie is just a list of shit that happens and that the superheroes have to deal with. I feel like this would have made for a pretty good episodic series where just random shit happens all the time with just all the superheroes getting involved, but they try and make it into a cohesive, coherent story, and it just doesn't fucking work. We do get a pretty decent send off for the Batman voice actor who recently passed away, which is very upsetting. But he has a very nice send off with saying if this is how he goes out, he's going to go out as Batman. And I thought that was really sweet, and that is one of the best parts about this movie. But again, it's such a shame that this really nice, this really beautiful send off happened in such a shit movie. It is so garbage. It is so ass. I'm never going to watch this again, and I'm not going to recommend this to anybody. I think this is a complete waste of time. It is a worthless watch, and you are going to waste like a good 5 hours watching all three, because you can't just watch one, you have to watch all three. None of these make sense. None of them make sense on their own. You can vaguely work out the story by watching all three of them, but again, it's not a very satisfying conclusion, and it does just abruptly end with some of the characters randomly deciding that they're just going to die with the rest of the universe instead of going into this new one and living on as like this new hybrid being of like every single Batman. It is just strange, and I hope that this does lead into like a new style of animation for the DC sort of animated movies, and like maybe a new page and like a new leaf of their book, because everyone is slamming the animation and I don't fucking disagree. The animation for this is fucking disgusting. It looks so ugly. I know a lot of people complain about the Has-Been Hotel animation, but fuck me, this shit is diabolical. It's so fucking ugly. It's so stiff. It's so dry. It's so bland. It's so basic, and it's just been done so much. It's been done and run into the ground that I just can't. I can't watch this anymore. It hurts my eyes. It really does. Like, I was struggling to keep watching. I was struggling to like stay awake and to like stay invested in this. I was never fucking invested in this story. I'm not gonna fucking lie to you. I struggled to fucking force myself to watch this. It was a struggle. I was on the struggle bus, and it was basically me torturing myself for another hour and 37 minutes. After watching the first one, I was like, you know what, commit, watch the second one, and then I didn't want to fucking commit. The second one made me lose all faith in this, like, trilogy, and I'm so fucking glad they didn't drag it out into, like, a quadruple, like a quadrilogy with, like, another movie. I'm so glad they left it at three, because, fuck me, I was not watching another one of these pieces of shit. So I'm gonna give it a 1 out of 10. I'm never watching this shit again. It is fucking terrible. The voice acting's decent, but like I said with the other two movie reviews, the best part about these movies is the character interactions. The rest of it is piles of shit. It is so bad and so drawn out. It did not need to be this long. It could have been easily half an hour long, but they shoved an hour of worthless crap into this movie. It just dragged and fucking slogged on, and I hated every second of it, and I hated myself for making me watch it, and I wish I didn't. I really wish I didn't watch this movie. I would have saved myself a whole, like, 2 hours pretty much. But yeah, I'm not gonna shit on this movie anymore. I've said my piece. I've said what I have to say about it. I have nothing else. But I promise you there is going to be more happier and upbeat movie reviews coming over the next couple of days. Like I did say, we are going to be taking a look at all the other movies which did collab with the Deadpool and Wolverine movie. Just going to be going back, giving a good send off to the Fox universe and taking a look at all of the movies that they did produce for the Fox universe and the Fox era of Marvel. So do stay tuned for those in the next coming days. If that is something that you're excited for, please do hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified every time I do upload a video. Because 98% of you are recurring viewers, but you're not subscribed, which is very upsetting. So it would mean a whole lot to me if you could press the subscribe button. I know it's red, I know it's scary, I know it's ominous, and I promise you nothing will happen, nothing will explode, hopefully, if you do push this button. It is free, and you can always change your mind later and unsubscribe if you do decide you don't actually like my stuff. And if you want to check out everything else that I have to offer as a content creator, you can check out the link in the description, which will take you to my YouTube, my TikTok, my Instagram, my Reddit, my Discord, everything else that you could possibly want me on. I'm on, and it's in the description, so definitely go check that out. But other than that, I hope you all enjoyed this YouTube video. I'll see you all next one. I hope you'll have an excellent day, and goodbye. Stay home and stay safe.